Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so there is going to be some more news that I mean, like, I'm not making this up. Some people will be perfectly fine with this, right? But okay, so anyways, Winter of Woe has been a very fun experience from a content creator point of view, and I want to make sure people understand that. Not trying to invalidate your personal frustrations and issues with the content, like the people who used 35 revives of the robot objective to find out that they could have not done that. Not that, the level of difficulty of the fight and anything else regarding it. The fact that Kabam reset the objective for players and all of the other issues with Winter of Woe, considering. I was sure, I was like somewhat confident that that's it. This has kind of blown over. People have raged their feelings out, and everything's gonna be fine. But no, here we go again. Man, Kabam are masters at this. Kabam are masters at carrying on the gag. That's what I'm gonna say. Right, so here's a new bit of edited post that I just recently noticed. So additional info, February the 9th. Summoners, we noticed that we missed out on a piece of information earlier that we wanted to make sure we include. Currently, we have planned for both Paragon and Valiant players 1 grace point with each season of this new endgame content. This grace point comes from a third Paragon objective that will be included in one of the regular live for 2-week quests each season, and requires that summoners use one of the previously released 7-star Deathless champions. This first objective will require the use of a 7-star Guillotine Deathless. This is optional, so anybody that does not have a 7-star Deathless Guillotine will not miss out on a mandatory point, but choosing to do this objective will allow you to skip a later objective. This means that any summoners that have completed the #robots objective for quest 1 and have access to a 7-star Guillotine Deathless will finish that objective when it's available, can skip 2 other objectives. Alright, so here's like, why make it a 7-star? Like, that's the main question here. Why does it have to be a 7-star Deathless Guillotine? Why couldn't have they said just like, use Deathless Guillotine for this? Why did it have to be the 7-star? Because now, obviously, Kabam effectively has said that there will be a grace point, but what Kabam meant to say is that there will be a grace point for some. And let's also kind of face it. And I keep going back and forth with this one because, Deathless Guillotine ain't some, like, even now, I think you can still buy that piece of Deathless Guillotine, right? But you can't spend 5,000 units for it. And realistically speaking, Deathless Guillotine as a champion in itself is not worth 5,000 units. It's everything else that might be tied to having a 7-star Deathless Guillotine, like this thing, like, Thanos in the end, which will also, I think, require you to have the other 4 champions. But I wonder why Kabam does not see it themselves, because there will obviously be plenty of people who do not have the 7-star Deathless Guillotine, who are trying their best in this event, and who will feel bamboozled right now about the fact that this special objective is tied in with the actual points and the actual event of Winter of Woe. And if you ask me, like, designing piece of content like that, it's kind of like asking for trouble. Just like one of the more negative feedbacks from people, aside from the energy cost, aside from the Absorbman fight itself, is the fact that the Deathless piece here is at the very peak of Paragon capability to collect it. As in, it's the 7th milestone, and Paragons can only get 7 milestones, right? So that effectively, makes pretty much everything mandatory here for people who do want to acquire the Deathless King Groot piece. It's things like that, I wonder about in hindsight. Why did nobody at Kabam kind of pick it up? But here we are yet again. Right, so if you have 7-star Deathless Guillotine, good for you. If you do not, then you must know, you ought to know, that you pretty much have no leeway. You just don't have to do anything, especially if you didn't do the robot objective. But I did find it to be quite worthwhile information to put out because, again, this is the type of thing that will catch players out for sure. This is the type of thing that will, mess with people, and I already inevitably see kind of like people posting very frustrated forum posts and comments in the comment section when this actually arrives because they will have missed. Also, the fact that this gets randomly added, like as an edit, not a separate post, not an in-game message, nothing else, effectively means that a lot of people are going to miss this bit of information. And that's one of the reasons why I'm making video about it, right? So as many people as possible would know. It would also be greatly appreciated if you shared with your teammates and everything else. But still, regardless of that, a significant portion of the community does not watch my videos or YouTube in general, or don't really go to the forums either. And it's more than likely that they're going to be caught out. And again, I just think this type of like design and method of delivering information and, organizing it in this way is just asking for player frustration. It really is. Because they haven't been clear from the start. Now they're just adding OFYI, just so you know, somewhere along the way. And, brilliant, I guess. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. But yeah, you can prepare your Deathless Guillotine for a special objective in Winter of Woe. And catch you guys later. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about